Point two, and this one's going to kind of lean on standardization, but it's also to simplify. Simple scales, fancy fails. That's the motto, right? And honestly, when I think about this, my kind of go-to default reaction is let's make following easier than bypassing. And when we are able to do this, we make following easier than bypassing by making things very, very simple. And we could take an IT team, for example, right? Let's say someone's going to a portal. The portal has a form that you need to submit to get some IT help. If that portal is super complicated, has a list of 20 different fields that you're required to fill out, it has complex terminology you don't understand, it is very unlikely you're going to consistently see people submitting those forms. Whereas if it's a very simple form with 6th grade reading language, with just a couple of required fields, with conditional logic in the forms to only show what is relevant to the user, the adoption there is going to be far, far greater because it's simple, it scales, and it is easy for someone to understand and to use. Now, the three things that break down a lot of times when this happens is adoption, kind of like what we just talked about. The more complicated or fancy something is, the less it's going to get adopted. Then it also creates workarounds, which, let's say in the IT example, someone doesn't want to use the portal. They'll Slack you, they'll email you, they'll call you, they'll walk up to you if it's in person. They'll find those little workarounds that are easier, that are essentially bypassing, because that's the simplest process for them. So we want to make following easier than bypassing. And then they'll create shadow systems. This is a little more on like the project management side, but let's say you have a tool that tracks all work that happens in the company. If that tool isn't simple, easy to use, understand, you're going to have people using their own systems, bringing in their own tools, using their own to-do lists, using their own project management tools. Sometimes departments do this, sometimes people do this, sometimes they both do it on their own levels. And you have like a company level, you have a department level, and then a personal level, and nobody knows what's going on because of that. I'm sure that resonates with a lot of people because it happens so often. Almost every company I've ever worked at had that same exact problem. It's because things are just too complicated. So keep things simple, keep them frictionless, and make following easier than bypassing. Hey, real quick, if you feel like Jira is messy and slow, or you feel like you're constantly trying to fix and rebuild it, then I want to invite you to take our free Jira strategy assessment down below. In just a few really quick questions, we'll show you which stage your team is currently in and exactly what to fix first.